And now Society Network presents Homegrown After Dark featuring JC Mize.
Well, my trouble ain't what it used to be.
Welcome back, Society Network. I have JC Mize in the studio. Man, it's a great thing what we're doing here for the local musicians. JC, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate you having me, Mel.
Hey, it's my pleasure. So I guess, I've asked tons of musicians this, and, I don't know if you're expecting what I'm going to say, but hey, where did your journey begin for JC into music, since I've never interviewed you at the K-Base show or here at Society Network?
No, I'm glad to be here. It is my first time, so that's a great question because it's actually a really important question in the development that I had as a musician. So my father is a guitar player and has always loved music, and especially guitar music, and had a lot of instruments around the house. So I got to have the pleasure of playing on loud amplifiers and stuff at a really early age. So there was a defining moment, though, and that was probably about 19, I don't know, I must have been 7 or 8 years old. And
was your father a musician also?
Yeah. I mean, he didn't play in bands so much, but he got together with a lot of friends around town and played guitar and stuff. So quite a few really good guitar players and drummers and just little dad bands,
Right, no problem.
Absolutely, yeah. So he basically had taken me over to a friend's house, and his friend had a big drum kit, and they were rocking out to some old school classic rock, and then it was probably pretty new. But I saw him playing, and I was like, wow, that's an incredible experience for me. And then I even knew it then. I said, that's what I want to do. I can see it,
Your dad was probably like, no, JC.
Well, he's been that way on more than one occasion about various things.
I hear you,
know how dads are, right?
Yeah, my dad aged because of me.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe you're like me. I'm the oldest son, so I think
I'm second to the youngest.
Oh, okay. But yeah, my dad put me in front of those guys at night, and I just sit there and watched them, and was just amazed at watching. I think the cool part about it for me was, even at that young of an age, I realized that when people get together and make music, it's an anomaly. Now, I didn't know the word anomaly at that time, but I could feel it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I could feel it. I was like, wow, they're doing that together. So I guess ever since that day, I've really been chasing the rabbit,
Right. Did you play music while you were in school? Were you one of those guys that took the acoustic guitar and just you had it with? Were you one of those guys?
That was my brother. My brother plays guitar too, and he's a really good guitar player. He plays drums and stuff, but he was the one that my mom would always, I'll never forget it. She would always be, if you're going to come to the dinner table, you need to put the guitar up and put a shirt on, because he was always walking around the house with his guitar, just no shirt, Eddie Van Halen style. So. Oh
yeah, was that his idol? Was it
Eddie Van Halen? Yeah. Eddie Van Halen was definitely a big influence on both of us. We grew up in the '80s, so he was absolutely iconic, with the guitar painted and everything. So his style was.
And can I just officially say on JC Mize's show, we miss the '80s people.
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah.
So okay, so you're about 7 years old when you picked up the guitar and started getting into it. A lot of that inspiration came from your dad.
Yeah.
You're saying that your brother's also a musician. He's right below you, I'm assuming, right?
Yep.
So what made you, if you wasn't that guy in high school to play, did you ever play any talent shows or anything like that?
No, I definitely, probably in high school is when I started really getting into guitar. So yeah, I did. I played talent shows with a few friends that I grew up with, and hopefully they're watching this out there. And then, my dad always had a lot of gear, so I would always get together with other kids who played music, and we would go up in the room until somebody told us to stop, and it's pretty cool. So,
what was some of the music y'all played, or who did y'all try to emulate back in the day?
Anybody and everybody, a lot of top 40 stuff that was out, I think one of my favorite albums is Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, and I remember playing that a lot, especially hearing that a couple of those licks off that album and going, wow, what's that? I hadn't heard anything like that, because at the time it was a different scene. When those guys came out, it was a little more raw energy.
It was totally different. I remember when they came out, I was in AIT for the Army, right? And I was in my billets, and I heard a song playing, And I was like, man, who is that? They're like, this is Guns N' Roses. And I never heard anything about them before I left. And anyways, got off subject there.
Yeah.
So Appetite for Destruction was an album that really, I guess, did it help mold you in a way?
Oh yeah, a lot. And then I listened to a lot of older Bad Company and stuff like that. And nowadays there's, of course, I'm always amazed at the talent that's out there these days. It's just unreal. Lord. But yeah, back in the day, Led Zeppelin, all that good old stuff. That's now classic rock for sure.
Yeah,
So,
no doubt, no doubt.
Still some iconic guitarists from that era.
They are. We're losing a lot of them fast. They're all leaving us. Eddie Van Halen gone, being one of them. On the other show, The Real with Mel Highsmith, I actually did a tribute to him in one of the episodes for Eddie Van Halen. So, okay, so when did you find yourself for the first time in your life going out and, say, playing in your first venue, wherever it was, a bar or a giant concert, whatever it was?
I think I did play in a band in high school, and so I did some of the band concerts and stuff for the parents, that type of thing.
Okay.
Actually, not in high school. That was probably junior high, maybe even elementary school. But I had done some guitar recitals and stuff as a kid too, with my guitar teacher. So the first real gig, are you saying where money was exchanged?
I'm just saying the first time, you left high school, okay? You're like, I'm
right.
out of school. I'm gonna go do my dream, and you head down to the local bar and you booked your gig.
Yeah, I'd say I was probably in my late 20s before I actually did that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I went in the military out of high school. So,
Okay, so what branch of military?
Marines.
The Marines.
Semper Fi.
Bad motherfucker right here. That's right. I was around a lot of Marines.
Oh, okay.
My billets while I was in school, when I was in AIT, was at Aberdeen Proving Ground, Maryland, right?
Okay.
It's a Navy base,
Yeah,
so
Maryland.
there's Marines, lots of Marines there.
Oh, okay.
And the only time I ever saw them was while they're doing the crossing guard. These guys don't move. They're like, they were just free. I'm like, God bless it. We're over in our billets, and you hear all the parties on our side.
Right.
You go over there, it's just like quiet on the Marine side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a pretty disciplined organization.
Yeah. So, what drove you, JC, to go into the United States Marine Corps? That's pretty admirable right there.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
My father, absolutely, he was a Marine.
Okay. Was he like retired Marine, or he had served?
He served.
Oh, okay.
4 years.
4 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so you're like, you know what? I'm going to follow Dad's footsteps, and I'm going in the Marines.
Yeah. Well, that's another one of those. No, he wanted me to go. He wanted me to go to school, but I really wanted to go do that. So I'm glad I did. Don't regret it at all.
Okay. So if you don't mind me asking, what are some of the things you did while you were in the Marines?
I was in the infantry.
So you were a pounder.
I was a ground pounder, 0311.
Yeah. Yep. There you go.
Humping it.
Yeah, it's wild, and I'll tell you again, my MOS was a 63 Golf. I worked on the fire control systems for the M1 Abrams A2.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And so that's what I was trained for. But we all know you never really get to do what you're trained for. But I actually did, anyways. So every time we were out in the field, I'm like, where's the Marines at? I was like, where are all the Marines? Because those guys show up, man. They'll like lift up a damn tank and move it for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're a bunch of shop techs. I'm like, white gloves. I'm like, where are all the Marines at?
Yeah.
So okay, so that's cool. So you served how many years? Just 4?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got out. Was it your choice to get out, or they're like, JC, time to go, buddy?
Yeah. It was a little of both.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
It was definitely time for me to get out.
Did you get to go overseas and stuff like that?
Yeah, I did.
That's awesome. What part of the world did you go to?
I was over in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait.
Kuwait?
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. My last guest, Jason Custer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was he was in the military too.
Yeah, he was a grunt.
Yeah. And so I just like hearing the stories, and everybody else does too, man. They want to see where you guys come from. That these men are not just musicians out here entertaining you. These men went to war. Think about that. And when they get up on stage, you know what I mean? It's like going to war again. So I just had to bring that up, and I don't know if it's a sticking point. If you're military, ex-military, current military, dear Lord, you got to salute these young men and women who go out and risk their lives, and no one thanks them.
Well, there's a lot of thanks. There's a lot of I did get the chance to serve with a lot of heroes that did, that went overseas many times, and they're great guys, and the camaraderie you got in there is just incredible. And even like I was saying, Jason, when Jason and I met, that's the first thing we started talking about, and both found out we're ground pounders, and even though we're different services, we definitely get along just fine about it.
Yeah, I didn't know you did. Did you meet Jason on the circuit that you play, I guess?
Well, ironically, I've known about Jason for a couple of years, and I've seen him, but, sometimes us guys that are out there playing, we're always kind of bouncing around and not seeing each other, kind of missing each other on the road.
Right. Yeah.
And he doesn't live far from me, so when I finally broke a guitar, someone referred him to me.
So that's who has your guitars.
That's who has my
right
guitars.
On, Jason.
Yeah. So Jason's working on a couple of my guitars, and because there was nobody I didn't really know of anybody close to me in Burnett County that was working on guitars. So He was a referral, and I went out and met him, and I think we probably hit it off and ended up chatting the night away, sitting on the tailgate talking about the military experiences we had and the music experiences and stuff. So
that's really cool. No, Jason's very down to earth.
Oh, yeah.
He is. He's a real good guy. I enjoyed doing the show. Matter of fact, his show released 1 week ago today, because we're 1 week behind. So everybody watched this video. It was last week, but it was actually today as we filmed this thing with our green wall.
Yeah. I actually I watched a little bit of it this morning. It looked like a really good interview. I didn't get to watch all of it because I was getting ready to come over here. But,
it's real good. I enjoy doing this. And you got to tell everybody, what are you looking at? This is pure, just a green wall right here. Kermit's Lair. That's what I call it, Kermit's Lair.
Yeah, it's nothing but a green wall.
Nothing but a green wall. Incredible Hulk would be proud. But, now...
Well, actually, the whole room, half the room's green.
Yeah, 3/4 of the room is green. The rest is gray. And so I was going to build right over there. Off camera, I was going to build this little section for the musicians. Mm-hmm. But I'm just busy and I haven't finished.
Okay.
I had to get shows on the air as fast as possible, so I barely got the room done. But anyways, back to JC Mize. So what's JC stand for, if you don't mind?
Well, my name is John Charles.
John Charles.
Mizell. So, yeah, most people call me John, JC. I try to get away with JC so nobody knows who I really am. But
there you go. It's covert.
But no, I just did that because I thought it sounded better than John.
John. JC's
cool, man. Little marketing. So
yeah, I've seen you. Even before the COVID, you were all over the place on Facebook. I mean, just bam, 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 bam. And I chased you for a while because I know I tried to book you for a couple or get you.
Yeah,
booked
I think we had a date set up for that,
and everything crashed out.
One of many dates that were set up, right?
Yeah. Oh dear Lord.
Yeah.
It was a tough one. Yeah. I mean that was the end of the K-Bay 103.9 FM homegrown hour, and I say that without breathing every time. Just one. Anyways, it was the end of it because I could no longer get the musicians in the studio.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And everybody was in lockdown, so 2 weeks went by, 3 weeks went by, and then it came up for the renewal of the show, which I self-finance all this stuff, right?
Oh, okay.
I even paid all that. And it came up, and I was like, well, you won't let the musicians in? Nope. Okay, I'm leaving. Because I was already wanting to do this, and they didn't want to do it. So I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. So now we're doing it over here and have the great talent like JC Mize.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that is not John. It's not Mizell. It's JC Mize. So, okay, let's start talking about the first song you're going to do, Trouble.
Okay, cool.
So check it out. Here we go. JC Mize doing his original song, Trouble.
Hey, I'm JC Mize. This is my song, Trouble. Well, my trouble ain't what it used to be anymore. And my trouble, it's much different than it was before. And I know how took everything that a man's supposed to be. She took my heart, she took my home, she tried to take my misery. And I know I'll carry on. And I know I am strong. That's my soul, 'cause I got soul. It's my soul. I got soul. That's my soul. It's my soul. I got soul.
All right, we're back. JC Mize playing his original song, Trouble. You know, I by listening to it, JC, I got a whole bunch of different things running through my head. It's about, why don't you just enlighten us of what was behind you writing that song?
Well, it's just a conglomeration of ideology regarding getting older and how things in life, priorities change. I would say, generally speaking, your troubles in life just change, and
Yeah, they do.
maybe you get to the point where you can let go enough to just not even have any trouble,
You know, I wish everybody could do that.
Well, I say it takes a lot of work.
It does. I think you got to have some inner zen, be able to let go all the trouble.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great song. I loved it, man. And I think it's amazing how you put those backing tracks in there. That's really cool.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
And I promise you, it's just him in here. It's only him. And he just brought all the stuff in, set it up. I had another musician named Aaron Terry.
Okay. I've
My
heard
very
of it.
first episode of the Homegrown After Dark by Society Network. And he came in, but his was literally nothing but music.
Okay, instrumental?
Instrumental totally. He was
cool.
doing lead rides on top of the backing tracks.
Okay.
And then talked about everything. He did great, man. I mean,
Okay.
that guy got like 800 views.
Wow.
On-
Sounds
on-
like a connoisseur of the guitar.
Well, he had a crowd.
Cool.
Who would know? I was like, man, I'll probably get like 5-10 views out of this show or something if I don't boost it, and I don't boost anything. And sure enough, man, he's like still the third most watched episode I got.
Nice. Good job,
Well,
Aaron.
that's for Facebook, but I got many other
Okay.
channels. So, and you can find Society Network on BitChute, BITCHUTE.com. Society Network. European, you're gonna love it, because the fan base is not just here in America.
Oh, cool.
Remember, we have 380 million
Worldwide.
people here, and you still have 7.4 billion in the world. So let's go over there to all their sites. So that's BitChute, BITCHUTE.com.
Hello, world.
Hello, world. I'm telling you, it's your brand, JC. It's your brand. So if you're not pumping it to everything that everybody can see, you know what I mean? I'm telling you, it's almost like spinning your wheels.
Oh, yeah.
I've watched musicians leave here during the pandemic, move to other cities, and now they're playing more since they left here because they left their comfort spot. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Their base of other musicians who are helping them get their gigs, and that person would be London Bailey. Great job.
Oh, I've heard that name, too. I've checked her out. She's very talented.
Yeah,
vocalist.
great songwriter. She got that really high voice, and
Yeah.
Anyway, so where's the next place you think you're going to be playing at? Let's tell everybody in the world.
Yeah, I'll be out at Ski Shores on Barton Springs in Austin, Texas on Friday night of this week.
Friday night this week.
Yeah. And
Okay, that would be last week.
And then, I will be at Saturday night. I will be at Van Brocklin's Bistro in Burnett, Texas.
There you go, Van Brocklin's. It's got to be a good place because all the musicians have been playing at Van Brocklin's.
Yeah, it's new and it is a nice place.
Yeah,
Very
no
nice.
doubt.
Great food, great beer, great management ownership and stuff. It's cool.
It takes a lot. I've noticed a lot of people like playing at Van Brocklin's and all these other eateries and wineries around this area. I mean, is that working for you for some of your work or what?
Oh yeah, the hill country's a very rich musically, blessed area that has a lot of opportunities for musicians to play at things like that.
You are not lying.
Because it's a destination. So yeah, I absolutely enjoy it. Get home early, get a little hill country food usually. So
Yep.
yeah, it's great. It's a good
So
time.
do they comp your food at these shows?
Yeah, most places, if they have food, they absolutely do. If they don't, they have something set up for the musicians, some sort of system. So
That's a good thing to remember. Take care of you musicians. Yeah, I've always been an advocate telling everybody this, that, let me back up. People have said, Mel, why do you do what you do? I said, because after 25 years of getting screwed over in music, I learned what not to do. I learned the hard way, school, hard knocks, how to screw it up. And there's no shortcuts in anything in life. So I figured that one out myself. So if you want to get lessons of what not to do not copy me. Just playing with all y'all. Yeah, copy what I'm doing. Get your green room. But, so doing all these shows and getting the word out for all you guys as much as we can possible. Because the only way that I can tell you, JC, you are your best brand.
oh yeah,
Brand
absolutely.
ambassador,
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's driving me crazy with the big screen up here.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Am I doing that? Am I looking over it?
No, it's all cool. I do too.
Kind of catches my attention.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but anyway, I get off subject, man, because I seen you look up at it, so I was like, I better say something.
Yeah,
about
I
it,
think it's the sound meter. I'm used to being in the studio looking at the sound meter, making sure it's not turning red, so I can see it.
Yeah, no doubt.
In the yellow.
Well, no, it's that little red dot on the camera.
Okay,
That's the one
I'll
we gotta
look at
watch.
that.
So, okay, so you're playing the Van Brocklin stuff like that. Do you ever, I know you know Jason Custer, and you've known a couple of the people who we've talked about even before we started taping.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you ever play with a full-time band? Do you have guys that you use when you need the whole band thing? Anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got I've probably, if you stack it on top of each other, I got at least two bands.
There you go.
So, but I have some good friends who play, and they're also busy doing other stuff. So they kind of play for me when they can, and I got a couple of guys on drums and bass. So
That's cool, man.
yeah, it works out real well.
It is. Are all y'all lifelong friends or just business associates?
Different variations of that. A couple of guys I've known for a decade or so. A couple of guys I met a couple months ago that were in bands and are, I think musicians right now are pretty hungry for work. So it's a good time to get out and meet new players and meet new people.
It is. I'm being forced out of my Kermit Slayer, the cave we call it back here, to start going out. Because you're right, a lot of musicians, and there's a lot more musicians, I'll tell you today, than it's all cool. They love the activity in here, but there's a lot more musicians out playing today, man. After the COVID, I mean, it's almost about the same amount. I've noticed in Facebook events it's starting to fill up and such like that. So it is a wild thing. So after Van Brocklin's, what's some of your plans? You going to play any big festivals or anything coming up?
Not this year. I'm just kind of sticking to the local joints that I play and having a good time and getting out and getting used to being out again. A lot of people are out at these places too, so it's been interesting to see everybody kind of come back out here in Texas.
Yeah, no doubt. Texas has been resilient. It's a race of time because that phone's going to keep buzzing, but I'm going to just let it happen.
Oh, that's not my phone, is it?
No, it's mine.
Okay.
It's like my 10th one this year because I keep dropping them all.
Well, your screen looks in better condition than mine right now. So.
Yeah, God bless, I've destroyed. I don't know what it is. I get a brand new phone, and within 10 minutes, it's flying out of my hand, flip-flopping on the floor, so I don't know what it is. So, but God bless Texas. So let's talk about Tumbling to the Ground.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So here we go. Here's another original song by JC Mize, Tumbling to the Ground.
Hey, this is JC Mize. This is my song, Tumbling to the Ground. Sun setting down, ain't seen my baby around. Been sitting thinking all alone.
Will I see her tomorrow? She's been gone too long, and I'm tumbling to the ground while I'm trying not to drown everything I feel inside. I don't deserve a damn. If she didn't come back, I'd understand. Maybe I would understand. Way back when we were new, but I had myself together, but I fell apart on you. You showed me how to love so blind. You open up my mind, and I'm tumbling to the ground while I'm trying not to drown everything I feel inside. I don't deserve a damn. If she didn't come back, I'd understand. Maybe I would understand. Tumbling to the ground while I'm trying not to drown everything I feel inside. I don't deserve a damn. If she didn't come back, I'd understand. Maybe I would understand. Tumbling to the ground while I'm trying not to drown everything I feel inside. I don't deserve a damn. If she didn't come back, I'd understand. Maybe I would understand.
All right, we're back with JC Mize playing this awesome song, Tumbling to the Ground. So I got to ask you, everybody wants to know what's the inspiration behind doing that?
It's just kind of one of those days where you have a story to tell, and it's really a song about relationships and having you hit your rough spots every once in a while, and maybe you're so inclined to feel a little the guilty party involved that starts the trouble in the relationship sometimes. So basically admonishing the other person that if they didn't come back, I'd understand. But luckily they came back, so it all worked out.
Is that from personal experience, or you just like in general?
Yeah.
general.
It's a personal experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's some hard things. I'll tell you, God bless my wife, Christina. She has to put up with some stuff out of me because of the music.
Oh yeah.
I played football till I was 32, right? I
Okay.
played football for a very long time. And then besides being teacher and the minister thing, right, I still played football, right? So anyways, and then after I retired from football, then I started playing music.
Oh wow.
So I was always playing in bands until I hit that wall called Hard Right,
Okay.
That's the band that
Yeah.
puts your furniture on the roof in the hotel,
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was
Rock
a
and
trip,
roll.
just like the movie Rockstar, just like it. So, but anyways, I get on that stuff. So, okay, so you wrote "Tumbling to the Ground."
Yep.
Did you write it and go up to your wife, girlfriend? That's who you wrote it for, right? I mean, just
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So, did you run up to him, play it right off the bat, and say, "Hey, I wrote this for you"?
No.
No, you didn't.
No, we've been together for 22 years, 23 years now. So,
Oh, that's cool, man.
well, married for 22. So we've been together quite some time. So I no longer run to her with songs.
Oh, okay, she's sick of them, kind of like my wife.
She got me my own building away from the house.
Yeah.
You know. But it's been a great thing. But yeah, she's very supportive of me. But you know, she's heard it all. So.
Yeah.
But eventually she hears it, and that's kind of what's really cool about it. Is eventually she hears it, and she's like, "Oh, that's a really great song," you know. So having that kind of like wine and letting it ferment a little bit, and not kind of
Okay, so
you know, having to bug her with it, because I don't know, every fifth song's about her, right?
it is.
Yeah.
Everything, just about everything I've ever written in my life has been about my wife. And a lot, you know, of how I probably could have been better.
Okay.
You know what I mean? She had a hard life dealing with football, me gone all the time playing
Sure.
ball, and then getting into music, and then being gone all the time doing music. So it was rough on her, man.
Well, I think it's you know, you just take the simple fact that a lot of times if you're an entertainer, you're going to be working on the weekend. So that kind of, a lot of things happen on the weekend. It's kind of opposite world in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it is.
Mondays are the day off, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't.
Which is cool.
My day is my day off.
Yeah, me too.
I can't do Mondays, and I never have. Back even when I said I had the normal job hours, you know what I mean? So that's cool. We'll just get a little bit out of the writing behind the song. And so you said you got a little jam room out at your house.
Yeah.
Okay, is it a small one?
Yeah, it's pretty small. It's like maybe 250 square feet total.
Okay, that's almost about the size of my jam room.
Yeah, it's got it's a small, it's split into one. It does have it's actually a tiny house. So someone built it as a tiny house. So it has a bathroom and a shower, and it's very tiny. But it gives me room to, you know, have a little cutting room where I can lay down some guitar tracks and certainly do the writing process. It's really good for that. So.
That's a good thing, man. Yeah. You know, during the ice storm we had.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. All of us were stuck at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my wife comes in there, puts her hand on my shoulder. She goes, you know, I realize now why we've been paying for that jam room for all these years and how important it is. I was like, well, yeah, baby. You know, she goes, God, I wish you could go to it right now because I was driving her insane. You know, because the times I normally go to rehearsal or anything like that, I was now at home. So,
yeah, I think that was a test of will for all relationships. It was kind of like taking a really long trip together, right?
It was. Me and my wife get along great. We're polar opposites, completely opposites, and so it actually works for us. You know, she's reading while I'm watching videos.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then,
yeah.
Or I'm reading while she's watching. You know, she watches TV. I do not. I do not watch TV whatsoever. But I do watch a lot of videos, especially music videos. Okay, so, man, what are some of the plans that you have for your future that you want to accomplish if the stars could line up for JC? What are some of your goals you've set for yourself for this year?
To not set any goals.
To not set any. There you go. Well,
no,
there's your answer live.
I'm sort of kidding, but I'm sort of not, because goals are very important. But I think most of all, my goal is to become a better musician. I really like the process of playing music, learning music, and making music. So that's really my main objective in all this. But the music business has changed quite a bit. It had already changed quite a bit, but now with everything that's gone on in the last year and a half, I think we're looking at a lot of different things that are going to transpire from this in terms of, you know, just like we're doing a show here on the internet with, we have great production values available to everyone.
Yes, sir.
And it's all about getting your name out there, and sometimes getting out there on the road is a really good way to do it, but there's a lot of other ways to do it these days too. So I think one of the things I had actually had an EP that I was working on before all this happened, and it kind of got sidetracked. So I'm definitely going to be getting back on that this year.
To finish it up.
Yeah, to finish it up. It's been kind of good that it got delayed, because as a songwriter, you're always working and trying to change things. And, you know, you may write a song, but 10 years later when you're playing it with your band, you may play it a little different, you know?
Yeah, so you gotta.
So I found that the longer I have with a song, the more comfortable I am kind of letting it go, if you will, and just saying, okay, I'm done with it. It sounds great, you know, whatever. So rather than analyzing it to death, you know.
You know, we all do that.
Absolutely. I think, well, that's kind of an important part of musicianship, is developing enough skill to where you can let go of stuff really quick, you know.
It's tough for a lot
It
of
is.
people. I mean, I jam with certain people, and I have over the years that, man, they can, lack of better words, be very anal about the music and everything. I'm like, man, why are you being such a jerk? If we just change it right here, it makes it easy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's not the way it was written. And then I find myself now when I go, because Dub Studios in Burnet over there, and my son Nick Highsmith, he's been over there doing his music, and then I find myself being that way.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, Dad, we can just change this the way I used to be. And now I'm like, no, do it as it's written. You know?
Right.
Anyways.
Well, and that's kind of an important point, because there's definitely different levels and different ways to do things, and that's one of the great things about music is there's a lot of different people, a lot of moving parts, a lot of different things that are going on with production values and quality and different sounds. And I've noticed a lot of people doing shorter songs and.
Yeah, keep it under 3 minutes, definitely.
Yeah, so there's a lot of cool stuff going on, but being able to let go and kind of get to that point where you're comfortable with yourself, and it's like we were talking about a little bit off camera. It's like, man, I'm just me, And once you can kind of get into that alignment with music, then it's a great place to be.
Yeah, don't I tell everybody, don't let it get to you. I mean, just don't enjoy it. So many people think they have to get a record label, which, by the way, if you did, you'd be an idiot. Anybody would be an idiot. You're just paying somebody else to do what you could be doing. And, they think their songs must be this way, I always tell everybody, just from my own personal view, it's like, when I do my writing, I'm not thinking about what I like. I'm thinking about them dancing.
Okay.
And that's all I'm doing is making sure they dance, because when they dance, they expend energy. What do they do next? If it's a bar setting, they're going to go up and spend money.
Yeah.
Bottom line, so if the owners of the bar, they see the people spending more money, they're making more cash flow. Well, guess what? They want, the Highsmiths to come back and play.
Absolutely.
JC Mize to come back and play. So, but a lot of people don't listen to that.
Yeah, well, it's all about having fun,
Yeah, it's all about, you got to have a great time.
That's one thing I enjoy about music is it's sort of I'm amazed, even as long as I have been playing, that I still, when I really sit down and start to focus on a piece of music, it just takes me away to a different place, and I can 4 or 5 hours can go by literally.
Right.
Same way in the studio, you get kind of hyper focused on things.
Yeah,
and,
time stops inside.
Yeah,
studios and jam rooms.
I think somebody told me one time it's like being in a time vacuum.
Yeah.
Because time just kind of is different, and that's always been something that amazes me about music, and it's one of the reasons I really like it. And I think video games have this. I don't play video games that much, but I used to play video games and stuff, and it kind of takes you away too. Kind of the same way.
It does. I play video games, Pong on Atari.
Okay.
I don't understand all the other stuff. It's just not
No.
me.
Yeah, I probably couldn't even turn on the latest game console. So.
I have a PS4, which
Okay.
I used to watch Netflix, but I don't watch Netflix anymore because it's a very, very evil company, in my opinion. But I don't have a sponsor from them, so I can say that.
Yeah.
I asked them, and they're like, "You're just a little small show in a little bitty town." I was like, "Good, I
Right.
hate you." Now I've been saying it the whole time.
Well, I don't watch Netflix, but I think I watch Amazon Prime or something, and they kind of give you what they want you to watch in a lot of ways. But the funny thing that drives me nuts about it is the when you turn it on, you got to do so much just to get there to watch the show. It drives me nuts. But it always asks me and my wife who live together. We don't have kids at home anymore,
Right.
so it's just us, and we kind of watch the same stuff. But it always asks you who's watching TV. And I'm like, man, that's so annoying. So.
Yeah, well, what me and my wife do at the very limited times I go in there and I'll watch Amazon Prime or one of our other shows, is we actually go in and keep logging, and she logs in most of the time in mine. So if you go inside mine, I'm like watching The Notebook and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm not, because my wife's in mine. So if they're trying to track us, they ain't figuring it out.
Right.
So, okay, so you know what? Your third tune, Blame You.
Blame you, yeah.
Here we go. JC Mize playing his original tune, Blame You.
Hey, this is JC. This is my song, Blame You.
All right, we're back with JC Mize on Society Network's Homegrown After Dark, playing this song, Blame You, excuse me. So, let everybody know what that was about. I love the thing, so.
Yeah, it's just a song, a little bit self-reflection song on how, I kind of find myself going through situations where I thought it might be somebody else's fault, but it always turned out to kind of be mine in the end. So, that's what songwriters do, is they write songs about stuff, and I wrote a song that just kind of reflected my thoughts on my own problems and how I was kind of my biggest enemy in a lot of ways at times. So really about just kind of taking responsibility for yourself, and blaming yourself for stuff right off the bat. Now maybe it might not always be your fault, but at least you give yourself the advantage of not,
weighing the options. What happened to make this happen?
Yeah, so I'm a big advocate of self-responsibility.
Yeah,
so I'm not saying that everything's within one person's control of controlling your own circumstances. Sometimes there are things out of your control, which is a whole nother story, and it should be a whole nother song about picking in life what you can control and what you can't to worry about. But,
no doubt.
But anyway, sometimes I like to get into the esoteric. So that was my version of self-reflection.
You're about to go really deep into this one, man. Everybody's gonna be like, "Ooh, check out JC." No, but it's the truth, man. A lot of people blame somebody else, even when they know for a fact when they're staring in the mirror it was their fault.
Yeah.
But then again, once you get to that point to where, I may have done this to cause that, but I didn't expect that. You know what I mean? So it is, and I'm poster child for screw up. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
Well, we're absolutely all connected, so you always want to try to act with the best interest of everyone involved, I think.
No doubt. So, JC, how can everybody get a hold of you, man? If they want to find you right now, you know what I mean?
Best place is JC Mize, jcmize.com. That's my website, where from there you can get to whatever you like. If it's Spotify, if it's SoundCloud, Bandcamp, on and on and on and on. We talked about kind of going around a circle. You can go around as many circles as you want at the website. There's YouTube, all that good stuff. So, definitely check it out. Everything's right there, jcmize.com.
So that's jcmize.com. And you better go there. This guy's good. You see him just playing this stuff over here. It's crazy. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, JC. Fist bump here, man.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming to Society Network's Homegrown After Dark. And this is JC Mize, and we'll see y'all next week.
Hey, I'm JC Mize. This is my song, Trouble. Well, my trouble ain't what it used to be anymore. And my trouble, it's much different than it was before. And I know I'll carry on. And I know I am strong. That's my soul. That's my soul. I got soul. Now that woman took everything that a man's supposed to be. She took my heart my home. She tried to take